This is Slasher here in IPL 5 in Las Vegas, and I'm here with Rapha from SK Gaming, who just took third, fourth place here at the ShootMania Tournament, losing to Fnatic in the semifinals. Rapha got swept 3-0 by Fnatic, who came from the open bracket with strengths coming all the way here to play through that, and they made it to the finals themselves. What happened?
Well, I mean, even though they had to go to the qualification bracket, the wild card here, I mean, they finished second in both online qualifiers, and they finished second at ESWC, so we knew pretty much that they were going to be the favorite to get out of that. It was just how would they do in their group, and they played really, really well. They topped it. They didn't lose a map. They had really, really close games against PX. Who was, in my opinion, the best North American team right now. And we knew going into the matchup today that we were going to have to play our best like we did yesterday against Cole when everything was kicking. But today we just it would be one map. I'm playing really well, but then either Clock or Id weren't doing as well. But then it would change on other maps. We just weren't all clicking on all cylinders like they were. They were really consistent on offense and gave themselves a lot of opportunities, and they took advantage of it.
You only got to put together a team a few weeks ago, really, and being able to practice legitimately for this event. What were your expectations coming in?
I just wanted to see how well we developed and tried to get top three. And I mean, I know there's not a third, fourth decider. We're going to get the same amount of prize money, but I'm really proud of what we did here. Playing about 7 to 8 weeks compared to these teams that have been playing some since Alpha and stuff like that. I think we did really well, and a lot of people questions should we even be here, and I think we proved that. And I mean, we've been working our butts off, practicing pretty much every day. And if we weren't able to, one of us when we were available, we were always watching VODs to try to, see the differences in our games and what we needed to do.
So how will you prepare for the upcoming next months? Do you see yourselves practicing every day with the new team? Do you think it'll change things up at all?
I think we've proved a lot as far as our development. So these tournaments, there's going to be some online tournaments that are coming up. I think that we'll keep playing a little bit. We won't be playing as much as we were. We won't be playing every day, but I don't think we'll need to now. The mistakes that we'll see from this tournament, we'll have to go over them. And I think we can make some good changes and start playing really solidly and start getting really, really good results. But yeah, I mean, say if it's at IPL again, we'll be putting in some work to try to get back here and compete for a top place again.
This is probably the biggest tournament for ShootMania thus far, and the biggest stage to show off the game to spectators. Do you think this weekend did a good job to show off how the game could be played competitively?
As far as that's concerned, yeah, I really do. I mean, you had the best teams here that qualified, and I mean, obviously my team was invited, but yeah, there were so many good games and sick matches. The only improvement I could see is if in group play it wasn't best of 3, it was best of 5, because sometimes with this game, how streaky it is, best of 3 is really short, and there's not a lot of room for any mistakes. And I think best of 5 is more balanced with how the game plays, especially with how they did the map formats here.
So just in terms of the game itself, of course, coming from a Quake background along with myself and having that deathmatch history, there's a new game mode here. It's kind of a 1-on-3 game mode. There are differences in physics and the guns and everything else. What do you think about the game in general right now, in your opinion, of how you like it, and how do you think it can do viably in terms of the competitive market for people to watch?
Man, another slasher question that is filled with questions upon questions. So let's see here. The game itself right now, I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it for what it is. There are little itty-bitty improvements they could make, on various aspects of the game right now. Coming from a Quake background, the rail and the difference between the two is a lot easier to hit the rail in Quake. If you put the crosshair on him and you hit the shot, from whatever distance, you're gonna hit it. But in this game, it's based on distance, and it's not always consistent. Sometimes it's kind of random. So it's very difficult to hit those, clutch key shots from a distance. You have to get up in their face and stuff like that. So I think if they adjust a couple things, they make the game feel a little more fluid. Because I mean, it takes more processing power and et cetera than Quake does and other games like that. Try to help compensate for it or something. Make the game really smooth. I think it could do pretty well. It's simple to understand for a lot of people. They don't really get confused by all the intricacies of the game, or they just don't understand it. It's not that hard to understand. It's just it takes a little bit and it takes work to get really good at the small things that they have in the game. Like, it's pretty simplified. As far as the spectating ability, I think right now they just need to focus on getting a player base, and that's what they're trying to do with making the game hopefully playable for a lot of people. If they do that, what you want to see is you want to see tournaments with over 100 some teams. You want to see big tournaments where people are actually getting involved and playing, and not being like, oh, I don't want to play on this team because we're probably going to get beat anyway. Like, that's old crap, and that needs to go. Like, people just need to play because they want to have fun and they want to get better. Like, you can never get better if you don't put yourself out there against the best players. And I really hope that people start to see that with this game, that they actually have a chance to be kind of good if they put some effort into it. And, yeah, start from there as far as having more teams in tournaments and then getting more spectator ability.
What do you think about the 1-on-3 mode right now as the elite mode, as the mode to play competitively? Are you liking it yourself in terms of competition and also playing with teammates?
I mean, I have actually really liked the switch up from duel to playing with teammates. It's been a really nice and fresh start for me. And I really like the camaraderie and like having to work together instead of just relying on yourself. And it's definitely different. You know, especially when your teammates on offense, you're kind of sitting there and you're like in suspense, you know, hoping that they do really well. That's something I haven't really had to deal with. Even with team games in Quake, you're always playing, you're constantly playing, you never get a chance for rest. So far, I've really liked it. I mean, they're trying to design the game so that the community can build mods and maps, you know, for whatever. So if somebody's got something really good in mind, like, they could go out there and create another mod that could potentially be even better than this, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been playing speedball that they really like it. It's really fun for people to play. And then who knows? They could probably come up with a good CTF mod in this game. I have a feeling compared to other games, it would probably be more offensive, and you'd probably see like higher scores, but it would be a bunch of fun to play. And but yeah, I think for right now, with how the game is, Elite should stay as the main pro mod. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
Lastly, you just came back from DreamHack Winter, where you got second, lost to Evil in the finals. For the foreseeable future, that seems to be the last major Quake tournament, maybe until DreamHack Summer or QuakeCon of next year. Are you going to continue to play Quake, or do you think that you will be switching over to ShootMania for full time?
Don't sound so depressed, man. I'll probably just play Quake here and there because it's Quake, you know, it's fun to play. But, I mean, yeah, I probably won't take it really seriously until, you know, a tournament is announced or whatever. I mean, I somehow did well enough at DreamHack with 4 days of practice going into the event. And I got to say, it's a lot harder going from ShootMania to Quake than it is going from Quake to ShootMania. Because of how the physics are and all that, Quake feels so fast when you go back to it, and it takes a little bit for the mind to, like, process everything and slow the game down. But if I get a chance to have like 2 solid weeks of practice for QuakeCon or 3, like should be no problem. Like I'd love to play again, but as far as it goes right now, we'll just see what happens with ShootMania, what tournaments come up, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to playing them if I can go.
But we should probably expect you to be at QuakeCon next year?
I would say so. The only thing that would probably stop that is, for example, let's say that, you know, QuakeCon comes up and then there's a ShootMania tournament with, I mean, not gonna lie, a lot more prize money put up. You got to make a decision, and since it's a team game, I would probably have to choose ShootMania because I'm not gonna leave my teammates out to dry. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it'll be in one of those, like, you know, periods where it just slips in and I can go play, and yeah, and hopefully win it again for a 3rd time.
Thank you, Shane, and good luck next year.
Thanks a lot.
Stay tuned to GameSpot.com/esports for coverage all weekend long of IPL 5 in Las Vegas.